Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria and I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and I practice law. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about divorce and how to get a divorce in Kenya because there are a lot of misconceptions. Some people think that you need to sign divorce papers, others think that it will affect the children matters, others are just not aware with the process. So I will answer those questions for you today in the video. So if you have been separated from your spouse for a while and you've not taken that final step of divorce, or maybe you've been thinking about divorce but you just don't know where to start, keep watching. So unlike other jurisdictions, in Kenya, divorce is only through the court process. You can only get a divorce by the court process, which means both parties are involved if they want to be. You will file a case against that other person for divorce orders from the court. In other jurisdictions, it's a matter of going to some registry somewhere with some papers, both sides, but that's not Kenya. Kenya, it is through the courts. And to initiate a divorce, you have to have a marriage certificate. So you can't divorce if you're not married. You'd be surprised, a lot of people have had their divorces delayed because they couldn't find their marriage certificate. And without evidence of marriage, there's no way we're going to tell the court that these people were married and we have no evidence, right? So if you've been married by customary marriage and come with stay or whatever, and you don't have a marriage certificate, then according to the law, you cannot get a formal divorce. In other matters, marriage certificate is so important. It determines whether you are considered a legal wife or whether you can file for matrimonial property. We had a case recently where this lady was left high and dry because she didn't have a marriage certificate. They just came and lived with this person, and then that person decided that they didn't want them anymore and left. But this person, they had been building their lives together for decades, but the problem is that property that they acquired was in the other person's name, in his name. So she had no recourse because it couldn't count as matrimonial property because she couldn't prove that they were married. But if you have a marriage certificate, you can put a caution on that property and say, no, you can't sell this property without my knowledge because I am the spouse and this is matrimonial property. So those are some of the reasons why a marriage certificate is important. Now, if you don't have your marriage certificate, what you can do is just file an application at the Registrar of Marriages. You can do that by eCitizen. It's a simple process. Just file for the application, pay for it. I believe it costs 1,150. Pay that and they'll do the search. It may take some time, but if you follow up, you can get a registered copy of the marriage certificate, or you can try and get a copy from your church where you got married. So if you didn't get married in the church and you want to find a registered copy, you can just search on eCitizen. It may take some time, but you will get your registered marriage certificate. So another question you get often is, so what are the grounds for divorce? Under what reasons can I file a divorce in Kenya? And so when we're filing this case in court, here are the reasons we'll give the court. You've been separated. There used to be a rumor that you had to be separated for 3 years. No, you don't have to be separated for 3 years. As long as you can prove that you've not been living together as man and wife, and you don't want to live as man and wife, then you can proceed. So you've been separated, the one person has deserted the matrimonial home, that means you don't live together, they've ghosted you, you don't know where they are, there's adultery, this person is cheating, there's cruelty, financial cruelty, verbal abuse, all that, physical abuse, all that counts as cruelty. There's just irreconcilable differences. There are reasons which don't fall under those categories that you can put in that category of irreconcilable differences. There's withholding of conjugal rights. This means this person will not sleep with you. Such reasons do make up reasons for divorce. We can file multiple reasons. We can only put one, depending on how we want to phrase the proceedings. Okay, so we do that. We file the case, and let me tell you, this is one of the simplest cases in Kenya because no court is going to force people who don't want to be together to be together. So once you file the divorce, depending on how the other person reacts, the case can go pretty quickly. The shortest we've done is a month. So how did this divorce happen in a month? There is something called defended and undefended cases. Under the Marriage Act, if somebody fails to enter appearance, even after being served, with the divorce, then the matter can proceed as undefended. And also, if they do enter appearance but they state clearly that they don't want to defend this matter, then the matter proceeds very quickly. That's how you can have the matter proceed quickly. Some people try and stall the divorce, so you'll see they are doing applications, they're doing whatever they're trying to do to stall for time. But at the end of the day, even if it takes a while, at most, I think maybe a year at most, but usually the matter proceeds pretty quickly because you're not going to be forced to be together. And that's another thing. People think that because you're filing a divorce, that children and the matrimonial property will be dealt with in that divorce matter. That's not the case. Divorce is a separate matter than the children's court and the matrimonial property causes, because different courts have different authorities and different jurisdiction. So the matters have been separated, which has made things easier. For example, you could file a divorce and a children's matter at the same time. Usually, when courts have the same, you can't file similar matters in a court of same jurisdiction. But because they're in different courts, you can file them at the same time. So when you're doing the divorce, we're only dealing with divorce matters. If you're doing with children, we're only dealing with children's matters. If you're doing matrimonial property, we're only doing matrimonial property. And for example, children's matters can be filed even before divorce. If you're scared that this person will stop providing for the children or stop taking responsibility of the children, you can file the children's court matter first, get your orders, and then go for the divorce. That is very possible. And then finally, the question most people are very curious about is how much does the divorce cost? In my firm, what we charge is 100,000 flat rate. We charge that amount just from what we provide as a service, but it's a range. Not all law firms charge the same, but we want you to be prepared with that kind of money, because a lot of times the clients underestimate the cost of litigation. And if you don't have the money to litigate, it might cause problems in the future. But you can consult with firms around you. Others cost less for the matter, others cost more. We personally are comfortable with the 100,000. So if you're interested and you want to consult on a divorce, you can email the email below, or you can email the email below to set up a consultation. The consultation is pretty fast. When you